Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster, and welcome to day 87. We are getting close to finishing. Today's class is going to be a nice stretch class, so it'll be a little bit gentler as we kind of stretch ourselves out a bit after the last couple of days. So just start sitting up nice and tall, and just take a moment to connect with your breath. And bring your hands to the heart. And I invite you, as always, to set an intention for your practice. And then we'll start just lying down right on our backs and draw your knees into the chest, gently rocking from side to side, giving your low back a nice little massage. And then take one hand on each shin, take the legs away from each other, forward and then together, and bring them into the chest. So just making some big circles with the legs so that you can warm up your hips. And then we'll go the other way. So bringing the legs forward and apart and then into the chest and together. And now hold on to the right leg, extend the left leg out and circle the right ankle in one direction. And then reverse. And then inhale and extend. Now just hug it in and then extend the leg up. Like I thought we extend the leg up. Yes, extend the leg up. And just hold on anywhere along the right leg, maybe behind the thigh or down by the calf. And make sure the left leg is extended out and the toes point right up to the ceiling. And you're flexing that left ankle. And now bend your knee. You're either going to reach for the bottom of your foot and draw the knee toward the chest, or hold on behind the thigh. And then as you hold on, your knee is bent and I want it to stay bent, but resist away as if you're trying to straighten out your knee. So you're using a lot of arm strength to keep the leg in toward the chest, and then you're trying to resist the leg away. And it's almost like you're in a lunge upside down. We'll release the right leg and we'll draw the left knee in and circle the left ankle in one direction. And reverse. And extend the left leg up, hold on behind the thigh or down by the calf. And again, extend out through the right leg and flex that right ankle. Keeping the right leg nice and active. So just taking a few breaths, stretching out the hamstring muscles behind the thigh. And then bend the knee and hold on to the bottom of the left foot or hold on behind the left thigh. And then again, use your arm strength to pull the leg in towards your belly, but then try and resist the leg away like you're trying to straighten out that knee. And that's really a nice strengthening for the hamstrings. And then set up for bridge, feet hips width apart, outer edges of the feet parallel, lift up when you're ready. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down. We'll do this a few times. So as you inhale, lift up, tailbone towards the backs of your knees. As you exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, press into the heels, lift the hips, the low back, and the mid back. And then exhale, lower down one vertebra at a time. And inhale to lift up, spiral your thighs in toward each other. And exhale, lower down again. Inhale, lift up. This time, take the arms overhead with your palms facing each other. As you exhale down, bring your arms back down by the sides. We'll do this a few more times. So inhale, lifting to bridge as you stretch the arms up and overhead. And exhale, lowering down one vertebra at a time back to the floor. Inhale, lifting up, stretching out. And exhale to lower back down. And once again, inhale, lift, stretch your arms overhead, palms are facing each other. Exhale, lower down, and then draw both knees into the chest. And gently rocking here again, side to side. Then roll to the right, and with your left hand, press yourself up. And we'll come forward on the hands and the knees. Wrists under the shoulders with knees under the hips. On an inhale, lift your chin, lift your tailbone up, heart forward. As you exhale, round your back, press away from the floor, chin toward the chest. We'll do that a few times. Inhale, bringing the heart forward through the gates of the arms. As you exhale, press away from the floor, draw the ribs in and draw the belly in. Again, moving with breath. Inhale to come forward, nice long inhale. And then exhale to round the back. Bring your chin in and lift your belly, press away from the floor. Inhale, bring the upper back forward, chest forward, heart lifts. And then exhale, take your hips back to your heels into extended child's pose. Keep the arms reaching in front of you. Breathing here. And then sweep the hands up the low back and hook your thumbs. As you exhale, reach the arms up any amount. You could also interlace the fingers here if you prefer. If you hook the thumbs, you might get in a little bit deeper. And release, stretch the arms forward again. Take a breath here, stretch out your spine. And then sweep the hands again, hook the other thumb. Exhale, lift the arms up. So again, reaching up. Get nice and stay nice and long through the spine, but lifting the hands to stretch the shoulders. And release. Reach your arms forward again. Come up onto your knees and tuck your toes under, stretching back into downward facing dog, and then take your feet as wide as your mat. And you can bicycle your legs here if you want to. Sometimes I find with my legs as wide as the mat, I get a really nice stretch in the hamstrings. It gives me more space there, so I don't even need to bicycle my legs, but you decide. Make sure your arms are shoulders distance apart and spread your fingers out. As you press onto the base of your fingers, lift up through the forearms. And I know I say it a lot, but rest whenever you need to rest. And now we'll take a little child's pose here. Just a short one. And then come forward on the knees. We'll lower all the way to the belly. So chaturanga with the knees down, and then inhale for a little plank. Peel the chest up, bring the chest forward, shoulder blades toward the waist. Press all your toenails down into the floor, even the little pinkies. Lift up a little higher or not. You can stay low. Keep lifting the belly away from the floor and lifting your hip points up toward your lower ribs. Then come back up onto the knees. Step your right foot up between the hands next to your right hand into a low lunge. Make sure that your right knee is over your ankle and your knees pointed straight ahead, so it just lines up over your second toe. And if it's too hard to reach the floor there, you can take your hands up on your thigh. Exhale, straighten the front leg, pull the right hip back, and fold over your straight front leg for half split Ardha Hanumanasana. And then sink forward again, inhaling. And again, if it's too far to reach the floor, put your hands on top of your thigh instead. Pull the right hip back as you sink forward. And exhale again to straighten the leg and fold over your straight right leg, pulling the right hip back and lengthen through your spine. Pull your right toes back a little. And then sink forward again, knee over the ankle. This time we'll add the arms up, cross your wrists and touch your palms. If that doesn't work so well, just stretch the arms straight up. Spin your triceps forward, that's the outer upper arm, as you sink forward into your lunge. Exhale the hands to the mat and make your way back into table. And then left foot forward, sink your hips forward, make sure your knee is over the ankle. And again, feel free to take your hands up on your thigh if it's hard to reach the floor. Try and pull the left hip back and lift your right hip up. Exhale, straighten the front leg and fold forward. Pull your left toes back, getting nice and long through your spine. And then bending the knee again, coming forward. And now straighten it out and fold over the straight front leg. Looks like Duke did a little close-up on us. Didn't know. Bend the knee again, sink the hips forward, pull the left hip back again. Breathing here. And then again, half Hanumanasana, half splits. And then rebend it one more time. We'll lift the arms, crossing at your wrists, or just lift the arms straight up. Try and keep the front ribs in. Draw the shoulder blades down toward the waist as you spin your triceps forward, the outer upper arms forward. Breathing and then release it. And then tuck your back toes this time into downward facing dog. Arms and ears are in line. Arms are shoulders distance, the feet are hips width. Gaze between your knees or feet. Keep lifting up through your low belly and pulling your ribs in. Inhaling to plank. Shift forward and hold. Knees can be down here. We're going to lower all the way to the belly on the exhale. Inhale for cobra. Peel the chest up, a low one or a high one, your choice. Keep the low belly lifted and the tailbone reaching toward the heels. Outer hips are pinning in, but don't clench your booty. No clenching. Lower down, tuck the toes, press to the knees, lift the hips, and come into down dog again. And stretching back. I know I get some comments that these slower classes are more challenging for some of you, and you're probably a lot like me, the type A people, the ones that need them the most. Walk your hands toward your feet, grab your big toes with the first two fingers, lengthen, inhale, and exhale to fold. Yeah, I would never have been able to do these slower classes when I first started yoga. It was not in the realm of my possibility. Grab your opposite elbows, gently rock side to side. And then hands to shins, lengthen on your inhale. Hands to hips. Inhale, come all the way up with a nice long spine. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, your right hand down. Shift your hips to the left and extend the left arm in line with the ear, stretching through the side. Inhale, stretch up through the arms, and exhale the left hand down, reach the right arm up and over. I don't know if you heard the door knock. I think someone left a package for my husband. Inhale, come on up back to center. And then interlace the fingers and face your palms up. And leaning over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the hands. Sweep the arms up again. Interlace other pinky in front. And face your palms up as you exhale, leaning over to the left, stretching through the side body. So as you inhale, see if you can get any length. And as you exhale, you can reach over toward the left. Come back to center. Exhale and fold forward, walking yourself back into downward facing dog. Arms, shoulders distance, again, feet, hips width. Stretch out your spine. Firming the legs, the inner thighs spin back like you're holding a block between your inner thighs. Reach your heels toward the floor, but they don't have to touch. If they touch easily, try walking back a little bit and see if you can stretch out your spine even more. And just holding here. Inhale to plank. Lift the backs of your knees up. Lift your belly. Exhale, come all the way to the floor. Knees can come down first. Now interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift up. Reach your knuckles toward your heels. Feet are still on the floor. Back of the neck is long. Tailbone's reaching toward the heels as your pubic bone lightly presses down into the mat. And then come down to take a little break and rest. Now interlace other pinky on top and lift up again. Feet are still down, so press all your toenails into the mat. Reach the knuckles toward the heels and lift up as much as you're comfortable with. Lift the shoulder heads up and you're widening across your collarbones, back of the neck long. And come down to rest, hands by the ribs. Inhaling into cobra or up dog, thighs and knees off the floor in up dog. Exhale, come into down dog. Inhale the right leg up and bend the knee, open up the hip. And just stretch out that right hip. Give it a good stretch. Press evenly through the arms and the shoulders. Square off your hips and step it forward, taking your left knee down with your hands inside the right foot. Lengthen on the inhale. You can have your back knee up or down, and then you can keep the hands here on the inside of the foot. If you want to go deeper, though, you can take your forearms down to the mat. Now, your right knee might go out to the right a little bit. If it does, make sure to turn your right toes in the same direction so that your knee is still facing over those middle toes. If you're down on your forearms, walk yourself up. Go to the pinky toe side of the back foot, roll onto the pinky toe side of the front foot, and lift up the right arm and twist. So it's a twist and a little hip opener. Twisting lizard. Come back down through center. Step back into plank with the knees down, lower to the floor. Inhale for cobra, a low one or a high one, your choice. And then exhale, make your way back into down dog. Inhale to float the left leg, bend the knee, open up your hip. Take it over toward the right side, stretching out the hip socket. And then squaring off the hips, step it all the way up and take your right knee down. Left knee's over the ankle, hands to the inside of the foot. Back knee can be up or down. Inhale here, lengthen. So if you have a good stretch here, you can stay right here. If you want more of a stretch, you can come down onto your forearms, or if you have a yoga block, you can put your forearms on the block. Again, if the left knee goes out to the left, just point the toes in the same direction, just to keep that knee safe. And then back up onto the hands, roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot, left arm up, you're on the pinky toe side of the left foot as well. Now the left knee can go out to the left some more. Have the toes turn that way as well. Stretching through the hip, having a twist. Twisting is always great for the body. And then come back to center, tuck the toes under, and make your way into down dog. Stretching back. Keep your steady gaze between your feet or your knees, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Feet as wide as the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. So if you can straighten your knees, pull up on the kneecaps. Otherwise, bend in the knees okay. If the legs are straight, shift your weight toward the balls of your feet. Inhale and look up. Take your right hand in the middle of the mat and inhale your left arm up for a twist. Pull your right hip back as you do. You can also take your left hand to the left ankle. If you want to go in just a bit deeper, keep those hips over the heels. Back to center, lengthen, inhale, and exhale. Taking the right arm up, left hand is down. So you can keep the left hand in the middle of the mat, or you can take it over to the right ankle. Stretching up through the left fingertips. Those were the right fingertips up, sorry. And then feet as wide as the mat. Turn your toes out and bring yourself into Malasana, a squat. If this bothers your knees, then come up higher. And just bend the knees as much as you're comfortable bending them. If you can bend the knees low, sit your hips down in between the heels so they kind of just freely hang there. Make sure the knees and toes line up. And then we'll walk ourselves back into down dog. And back into the knees. Now tuck your toes under and sit your hips back onto your heels. Interlace the fingers behind the back and begin to reach your knuckles back, opening the chest, widening the collarbones. And then up onto the knees. Interlace the other pinky on top, sit back again on the heels, the toes still tucked under. If that's too intense, then just get off of the heels and come on for as long as you're comfortable with. It can be a pretty intense pose if you're not used to it. And then coming forward and sit back, either right in between your feet or sit on your heels. Or if you've got a yoga block, you can put that in the middle of your feet and sit on the block. This is Virasana if you're sitting between the feet, or if you're on the heels, that's Vajrasana. If it hurts your knee, make sure you pad yourself up so your buns are higher away from the floor. And then if it's comfortable for you, lean back on your forearms. Tailbones reaching toward the backs of the knees and maybe lying all the way down for Supta Virasana. Just go in whatever deepness is right for you. If you're in Supta Virasana, make sure that your tailbone is reaching toward the backs of your knees because there's a tendency to overarch the lower back in this one. And then releasing, press yourself up. And come onto your back into bridge again. Feet hips width, pressed into the heels to lift up. Maybe this time interlacing the fingers and rolling the shoulders under to go in a little bit deeper into your bridge. Keep your chin away from your chest. And then lower down, rest. Soles of the feet together and knees apart. And then feet to the floor again, lift into bridge. Rolling the shoulders under, keep the chin away from the chest, spiral your thighs in toward each other. Tailbone toward the backs of your knees. And breathe here. And then lower down again, soles of feet together, knees apart. Take a moment as you're breathing here to return to your intention and just sending that out with this nice open heart energy. So bridge again or hands up by the ears for wheel. Come onto the crown of the head, line up wrists and elbows and then press up. Arms and ears in line. Reach your tailbone toward the backs of your knees and your chest toward the back of your mat. Stretching out the whole front of your body. And then come on down and rest. Hug your knees into your chest. And just gently rock side to side. Now roll back and forth up to seated, or you can roll off to the right and sit up. We'll take the soles of the feet together, knees apart for Baddha Konasana. Sit up tall on your inhale. Exhale to come forward. So as you hold your feet, open your feet like a book so the soles of your feet will face the ceiling. And that helps to externally rotate the thighs. And then shifting from the hips to make your forward fold. Keep your spine nice and long for now. And then come up a little bit, and now we'll round the back, your forehead down towards your feet. And then come on up And extend your left leg out to the side. Take your right foot in, and then take your left hand on the inside of the left leg. Reach your right arm up, and then maybe take your right arm over in line with your ear. But try and bring your bottom ribs forward and spin your top ribs back. And then come on back to center, and then turn toward the straight leg, and hinging from the hips, fold forward, leading with the chest. Come on up on your inhale, and we'll switch. Left leg in, right leg out to the side, right hand on the inside, reach the left arm up. So you can keep it up or extend it across. And again, try and bring the bottom ribs forward, spin your top ribs back. So it's almost a little twist here in the side waist and the side body. Come on up, turn toward the straight leg, and exhale to come forward any amount. And then head up, inhale, releasing on the exhale. And then put your right knee on top of your left knee for Gomukhasana leg. Sit up really tall. And then exhale, come forward any amount or stay sitting up. Also, you can extend the bottom leg forward. So instead of knee on top of knee, the left leg will come forward and it'll be a little less intense. It's a good hip stretch. This is the one hip stretch that I used to practice. I mean, I still do, but it really helped me to open up the hips because it didn't hurt my knees. For a while, pigeon hurt my knees. Come on up, go to the right. You're gonna make a big circle all the way around. It's kind of fancy. And then put your left knee on top of your right knee. Sit up nice and tall. If you already have a good stretch, stay. Otherwise, come forward. And remember, you can extend your right leg out in front of you. Inhale and come up. And stretch the arms up on the inhale. Hinge from the hips as you exhale for nice forward fold. Lengthening as you inhale, extending as you exhale. Leading with the chest. Keep your spine nice and long and make sure to flex your ankles. So your toes will pull back and that will keep your legs nice and active. Inhale your head up, exhale release onto your back. Take the pinky toe sides of your feet for happy baby. Either stay there or extend the legs out to the sides. You can keep the toes or hold on someplace along your legs. And then we'll make our way into our final resting pose, into Shavasana. So before I stop talking for a bit, I'm going to read our quote first so I don't run out of time. This is from Sean Aker, The Happiness Advantage, the 7 principles of positive psychology that fuel success and performance at work. And I would also add to that in life. I've been listening to this on Audible, and I can drive around my car and listen, which is great for me. If you're interested in that, go to fightmasteryoga.com, and there is a link there. It's like a little Audible logo you can click on. So the quote, he calls this the Tetris Effect. So Tetris, the video game, if you play Tetris for a really long time, over and over and over and over, you walk outside after playing and all of a sudden you're seeing these buildings and these different shapes, and you kind of want to put them together in the way that you do in Tetris. If you're not sure what Tetris is, you gotta check it out. So he says the Tetris Effect. When our brain gets stuck in a pattern that focuses on stress, negativity, and failure, we set ourselves up to fail. This principle teaches us how to retrain our brains to spot patterns of possibility so that we can see and seize opportunity wherever we look. So one of the ways that he tells us to retrain our brain is to think of 3 gratitudes, he calls them. So think of 3 things that you're grateful for once a day, whenever you like. Write them down in a piece of paper, in a book, in a notebook, whatever you have. And just consistently write down 3 gratitudes a day, and you will be surprised on how much your mind turns and scans the world for the positive. And start to make some movements to reawaken your body. Move your fingers, your toes. Reach your arms overhead for a long stretch. And bend your knees, roll off to your right side, and pausing here for gratitude. So the gratitude, 3 gratitudes a day, just pick a time of day, try and keep it consistent at the same time every day. Sit up nice and tall, bring your hands together in front of your heart, hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications, sending out this wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on your mat today. If you liked our class, please push the like button and please subscribe to our channel and share this class and share other classes. And if you want to support Fightmaster Yoga, there is a link below to make a donation of any amount through PayPal. Or another way is to go to fightmasteryoga.com. There is a logo for Amazon on the homepage on the right side. And if you ever shop on Amazon, clicking that link and going through it really helps to support Fightmaster Yoga, and it doesn't cost you anymore. Bye!